me your name, age, occupation.
Okay. My name is Tevin. I'm 24 years old, and I'm an actor.
Incredible. How long was it? Always an acting thing? Got bit by the bug early on?
I never wanted to be an actor before.
Uh huh.
I actually, I've always sang. I've always sang in church since I was like 4 years old. I've been singing in church, and I never thought acting was a place for me because I watched High School Musical, and I said, well, if that's it, I don't want to do that. If that's what it is, hell no, I ain't doing it, girl.
You didn't want to follow the Zac Efron?
No. But what it was, I never saw somebody that looked like me do it. I never saw someone that represented me necessarily do it, and so I didn't think I could hold space doing it. So I'm Whitney Houston's biggest fan. That's a little caveat I got to put in there. And so when she died, I was in 8th grade. That was 2012. I decided to sing The Greatest Love of All at our Black History Month assembly, which was a few days after her death. And so I got nervous on the day of I was supposed to sing because I had never sung in front of my peers before. I sang in church, but had never sang in front of my peers. And so the principal was like, Tevin Davis, what are you going to do? Are you singing? We haven't heard from you. And normally when she called my name, I thought I was in trouble, but this wasn't it. And I was like, yeah, I'll sing. Because I had a hard time telling people no at the time.
Of course.
So I was like, yes, I'll do it. I sang. And they were like, well, how are you going to do it? Do you have auxiliary record? Do you have a CD? How are you going to play the music? Or what are you going to do? What song are you going to do? I was like, listen, I just wanted to sing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just put a mic in front
Just
of
put
me.
a mic in front of me. I don't know how to do the rest. So this man came in. He was like, I'm going to buy the music for you. I'm going to buy the song. I'm going to do everything for you. I sang the song. The man called me to his classroom the next day. His name is Neil. And he said, your voice is beautiful. And I've already cast Beauty and the Beast. But I was wondering if you would be in the ensemble. And I went and I was like, I don't know what this is, but it's everything that is me and true, and then I fell in love with it. I did all 24 productions through high school, and then I went to school, first in my family to graduate. I got my BFA in theater performance.
From where?
Just recently graduated from Virginia Commonwealth University, baby.
Ooh.
Go Rams, baby.
There we go. So give me like top 3 to 5 roles that you played.
Okay, the first one, Caliban. Absolutely. From William Shakespeare's The Tempest, which
Yeah.
I played just before I came out here.
Okay.
And that character, people always play him as brutish, gibberish, talking, hunched over, and they describe him as half animal, half man. And I said, what if he's not half animal and half man? What if that's just what people say about him? What if he's a dignified black man that people imagine that people are naming something else?
Right.
And so I decided to play him upright instead of hunched over. He spoke well. And people normally play him when he meets the two drunks on the island.
Right.
That he gets drunk with them.
Yeah.
And I said, what if he is smart enough to know that these two are drunks, to then have the wherewithal to pretend to be drunk so that they think that he's drunk, so he can then manipulate them into going to kill Prospero for him.
Yeah, so you made the least powerful character in The Tempest arguably the most powerful by the end of it.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I said, And then I found out I was coming out here to do this, and I went, And then I thought back, and I said, Caliban's one of his first lines when he comes out is, this island's mine.
Fate. It's fate.
And I said, it is fate.
Yeah.
It must be fate. So Caliban is absolutely my top role that I've played. Other than that, I've always said that whatever role I was playing at the time was my favorite because I put so much energy into that one moment, truthfully, that is like, this is it.
Yeah.
So other than Caliban, nothing else really stands out to me. Maybe being in the ensemble in Beauty and the Beast because that was my first thing I'd ever done.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is it.
What's your dream role?
Oh God, I don't even know. I have this strange fantasy, but I just love doing like Broadway backwards, and I love people playing roles that you wouldn't expect them to normally play. So I have this dream of me playing Heather Chandler.
No, fuck me with a chainsaw. Oh my god.
Gently with a chainsaw
Yeah.
at that. Fuck me gently with a chainsaw.
I can see you in the red blazer.
Can you see it?
I can see you going to the candy store.
Can you see it?
Absolutely.
I get a bullshit test. So I have this image of me playing Heather Chandler, but I mean, the roles that they write for women are just so powerful. I mean, every role is powerful, but I mean, sometimes these roles, and I'm like, they're definitely written for women, but they are so strong.
Yeah.
They're so strong. And I just want to do it.
Well, let's talk about a very different role that you're playing. This is your island.
This is
now,
my island.
what made you decide Survivor was going to be your next stage?
I have been watching Survivor with my aunt Gogo. Her name is Gloria, but we all call her Gogo.
I love that.
I've been watching with her since I was really, really young. And to this day, we still watch it. I mean, we sit in the same spots we sat in all those years ago, and we watch it. And I always said, I'm gonna do that one day. I'm gonna do it. And I never applied. I never did it. But I always said, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I don't know if God spoke to me or if I'm an actor, so my impulse said, Tevin, apply. And Jeff came on the screen, you know, with his muscles all out. And if you want to be on the next Survivor, you can sign up at cbssurvivor.com.
Yeah.
Apply now. And I was like, I hear you, Jeff. I'll apply, baby. And so I had the impulse, and I applied. And then I was like, Tevin, are you going to do this? Are you really, really, really going to do this? Because I'm from the country. I'm from Goochland, a little small town. But, like, this is a real jungle.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have these in Goochland. Like, I'm from the country, but this is a jungle. So I have no experience in that. So I was thinking about all the things that could go wrong with me coming out here. And then about 10 months ago, so, like, July 5th, I surprisingly, out of nowhere, lost my dad.
Oh my, I'm so sorry.
And so, thank you, which was very, very difficult. And until you lose a parent, there is nothing that can be said or done on your part to prepare you for it. And it is a devastating blow. I always have a song in my heart. I'm really enthusiastic, but when that happened, I was completely silent. I wasn't singing any music. I was gone for a long time. But I think it's a beautiful thing when people, it's not beautiful. Well, it is kind of beautiful. People pass on because I feel like they pass on things to you to carry on, to say you're strong enough, you can withstand, you can endure because there's more for you to do. I may have to go, but you're still here. Whitney passed on, and I felt like she gave me this moment to become an actor. I never thought I was going to be that, but because I sang The Greatest Love of All that day, that opened up a door for me that I didn't know needed to be open. My dad passes away, and it just felt like he was like, because this happened immediately after that happened, and he was like, you're okay. Here's something else. There's more for you to do, so go do it.
That is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
So let's look back to the past in a different way. Give me one Survivor winner and one non-winner that you identify with the most.
Winner, Marianne, because Marianne was authentic. She was herself. She cried and she laughed and she screamed and yelled and was frantic. And I'm like, that's me. Like, we are not the same person, but we have similarities in the way in which we choose to express ourselves honestly, because it's us and we can't deny that. The other person that I, not winner, is Sari.
Mm-hmm.
Sari to me just felt like home. She got up off the couch and I just saw the strangest looking bird cross that path over there. And
You're about to see a lot of strange looking
birds.
birds.
I was like, is that a chicken? Is it like a penguin? Like, it was like a mix of a hybrid of all kind of birds.
You already seen food in your head? You're ready to hunt it down?
Oh, yes. I'm like, oh, are you without a home? I'll give you a home. So Sari just felt like home. She got up off the couch, and to watch her push all those seasons that she's come back, and Jeff's like, in season 34 in Game Changers, he's like, Sari, if you want to get across this balance beam, we'll wait here for you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Sari, go. But the way that she communicated to everyone and to the camera is exactly how my family communicates to each other. There's a way in which black people can talk to each other that is maybe coded to people who are not within that culture. And so when Sari was talking, or when she made a face, or when she turned her head, or someone said something to her, she had this slight grin on her face. I was having a whole conversation with Sari from my living room because I knew what she was saying.
Yeah.
Maybe no one else did, but I knew what that face meant because I've seen so many black people in my life use that face in many different ways to tell different stories and say different things. So, like, I could have a whole conversation with someone without saying anything like, and we know exactly what we just said.
Interesting. Well, let's talk about that from a certain perspective, because, like, that's been the past few days here, no? Like, you can't talk to each other.
Cannot.
But definitely making eyes at each other. Who are you picking up good vibes from?
You know, I honestly am picking up good vibes from almost everyone. I think everyone is excited to be here. I think everyone is enthusiastic, and I think everyone is ready to play this game authentically as themselves, from what I can pick up.
Mm,
Um, and I think naturally my eye kind of gravitates towards people that look like me,
right.
and I'm like, do we share something? We clearly do, but do we share more past that? And that is curiosity spiking in me to be like, I wonder. I just get good vibes. Um, there is, I call her Little Shambo. There's one girl here. She has this headband wrapped around her head, and that's the only reason she reminds me of Shambo. And I get really good vibes from her, and I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what it is. Sometimes it is just a feeling you have.
Of course.
So I get good vibes from Shambo, and then I get many other vibes from others, and I'm like, oh, I think you might be sneaky.
All right, well let's get into that then. Yeah, I want to see what's the typing out you're doing.
Oh
Some of those
yes,
some of those bad people.
one of them definitely. I call him Mr. Suave.
Mr.
He has
Suave.
this big, luscious black beard, and his hair is all curled up and coiffed. He's so well groomed and manicured, and he has this energy about himself that feels like I'm good. I am confident. And I think that might teeter totter on a little bit of cockiness, I think. And I
Mm.
think that he has this beautiful smile that he might be a little bit of a snake charmer. But unlucky for him, I'm not a snake. So he can't charm me. And I see it before he even begins doing what he's doing. But I think he's going to have a good time uh, manipulating and connecting with people genuinely.
Mm. Well, let's talk about perception from your own perspective. Because listen, you come from a business, right?
Yeah,
You send in an 8x10. People are looking at you the minute you walk through the door.
that's right.
In this type of audition room, how do you think people are going to perceive you?
I think that they're gonna, which I love me some Carolyn. Can I just insert
Oh,
that?
I mean,
I
absolutely.
can't wait to meet that woman and wrap my arms around her. I
Ugh.
love Carolyn to death. And what was so great about Carolyn is that everyone thought she was all over the place. She was crazy. She was spastic. She was all these things. And she fooled almost all of you with a red X.
Yeah.
Like, she's playing the game. She has an idol she's told none of y'all about until she used it for Carson. Y'all had no idea. And I think that people are perceiving me the way that I am, which is energetic, enthusiastic. I sing to myself all the time.
Mm.
I am like praying. I am thanking the Lord every second. I'm doing my little hayatable shatas because I feel it, and that's just me. But I think that they're gonna write me off as, and I'm skinny too, so I know that that's a perception I have coming in. So you combine flamboyancy, you combine energy, you combine be sing-songy, and you combine being slender, and people write you off immediately. They go, he's weak. They
Mm.
go, he is bubbly and in his own little world. He's not real competition, and I hope that they do that.
When it comes to revealing your occupation to others, is that something you plan to do? Because I could imagine there is this authenticity and, excitement and humor that you bring. At the same time, I can certainly see people be like, oh, he's an actor. Is he lying to me?
Yeah,
It's his job to lie.
I'm absolutely not telling them that I'm an actor.
Oh, what are you going
I'll
to
let
say?
them know I'm a singer. I might
Mm.
let them know I'm a musician. They'll never know that I'm an actor. It's not hard to believe that I'm a singer. I am. I'm
Yeah,
just
I was
omitting
true.
that I'm an
Yeah.
actor. I am a singer. I am a musician. I am all of those things. But I was this way before I was an actor. I've always been this. Tevin has always been energetic. Tevin has always been theatrical before theater was a thing that I even stepped into.
Right.
So for me, it's not crazy to believe that someone can exist without being an actor and have exuberance.
Yeah.
And so it really just depends on, believe it or not, committing to the bit,
Mm.
which I will be doing. Uh, and I'm a singer. That's what it is. That is the truth.
Yeah. No, so it's not that hard to stretch the
That
truth,
is the
right?
truth. Because if they think that I'm an actor, they'll vote me off immediately. Oh, he
Exactly.
can lie. And people always say that actors are good liars. I actually think actors live so truthfully in the moment that you believe it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm someone who studied musical theater as well, and yeah,
Okay.
it's not like you can certainly do a good job of like nodding and agreeing with someone, but it's not like you're walking through like a con artist.
That's
It's
correct.
more so this idea of what is my character's truth, and then living through that. So it's almost like you're looking at it from a very truthful lens rather than
Yes.
deception.
That's correct.
Something from your bio I really wanted to get more of your thoughts on. You took risks to be an advocate for black bodies, minorities, and the oppressed. Is this specifically through your art? Is this more from a social lens? What is this being looked at through?
This is being looked at through both. I am an artist, and so I think the two kind of overlap. But as an artist, it is my job to tell stories of underprivileged communities, which happens to be the one I exist in, which is being a black man.
Yeah.
And so Caliban is a great example.
Right.
I could have played that character how he always is played, but in this moment, during this show, during this time in history, I am a black man playing this role. And what would it be like for this white person who is playing Prospero to say these lines and call me a monster and mooncalf and say these horrific things to me, and for me to play into what this person is saying? So me choosing to level this character up and to say, no, this is a dignified black man, and he's fighting for his liberation. He is fighting for his freedom. He is fighting for his peace and his independence. That's a more powerful story to tell. And I think that that resonated with the many people that came through the doors of that theater to watch that. So as an artist, I'm a music director as well. And so when I'm music directing, I'm always trying to infuse blackness into the music in which I'm creating. And so when you come into the theater, I try not to do like Motown music because I believe Motown is palatable. People listen to Aretha Franklin and Smokey Robinson, like that is what everyone listens to. But when a black person comes into the theater and they hear Mary J. Blige or they hear Next or they hear New Edition and they sit back and they go, this is being played. They're singing this in this theater today? And you feel seen in a way you've never felt seen.
Yeah.
So as an artist, I'm always trying to find ways to make avenues to reach my people so I can say, you belong in this big circle called Earth too.
Yeah.
And I see you and you see me and we see each other. And socially, I mean, especially during like the Black Lives Matter movement, I
course.
was on the streets.
Yeah.
I was out there. Because I think it's easier for people to talk about it and to have discussions about it, which are very important, you should. But I think it's also about action. It's about going out there. It's about seeing the people. It is about helping, lending a helping hand. It's about engaging your entire body and mind and spirit into rectifying the problem. Because unless we all put energy into it, it's not going away. So I think that artistically I'm doing it, socially I'm doing it, and I think that the two conflate.
How could they not? You know?
Yeah, they absolutely have to.
It's a life that you literally live, that you bring into everything you do.
Right. And my T.S. Madison says, I love T.S. Madison.
Oh, I love T.S. Madison.
Oh my God, I love T.S. Madison so much. Another person I just want to wrap my arms around, but she always says, my presence is my advocacy. Me being her being, not me, but her being a black trans woman is her advocacy. Every movie she does, every song she makes is giving black trans women the opportunity to step into those spaces. I'm a black man, I'm on Survivor, hopefully opening up doors for another person who wants to do Survivor that acts like me, that looks like me, that has this energy that I have, that isn't maybe comfortable being whatever. I hope that I am opening up doors by existing. And that's enough.
Incredibly so, yeah. Let me throw some scenarios out at you. Let's get you in the game here.
I'm ready.
So let's say like day 2, day 3, boat pulls up at your camp.
Okay.
Guy steps up. You know what happens. He has a note in his hand. Pick one person to go on a journey. Are you trying to get on that boat? You trying to get someone else on there?
Oh, you are. Oh, this is a good question because I've been ever since I knew I was coming out here, I've had a dream about Survivor every single night.
Really?
Every single night I have dreamt about it. Something has happened or I'm in the challenge and I'm trying to I've dreamt about all of it. And this has come up so many times. And in some dreams I get on, some dreams I don't get on. And I just feel like you have to play this game, and Jeff says it all the time, like it's your second time. And you may not get another chance to come back out here. And so a part of me wants to get on that boat because you just don't know what's going to happen. And you want that experience and you want the power, because if I can get whatever this advantage probably is, then you don't have it. And I'd rather control my fate by me knowing what it is and you not knowing what it is. But the other part of me says, leaving camp is always dangerous.
Right.
And so when I leave, what's happening back here? Are they assuming that I have something? What am I going to get? Am I going to be able to spin it convincingly enough so that when I get back, they don't think that I'm making something up and then vote me off because they think I have some type of game-changing advantage, like rewinding the hands of time and changing tribes around and like who's safe and who's not. So I don't know. I think I'd have to, like an actor, impulse it.
Yeah.
I might just get on that boat.
Yeah. Is that how you make decisions? Usually, are you someone that just goes with your gut, or do you do like the Stanislavski working through all the beats and everything when it comes to just important decisions you make in your life?
Um, I think I do a little bit of both in different moments, but I think most of the time I live my life impulsively, a
Mm.
little spontaneously. And being an actor has taught me how to live in the moment, how to let this moment inspire what the next moment is going to be. And that is absolutely how I live and how I act. And it's improving, it's saying yes to the water. Because the water will always win. So sometimes you need to follow the current and
Mm.
stop trying to fight against it because you might just drown. So it's saying yes to the water, seeing where the water takes you. It is trusting all of the impulses that you have and believing that whatever happens, whatever scenario comes out of that, that you can figure out what happens next. You just have to be truthful in every moment that you're in. So that is. But then sometimes I'm battling myself and I'm like, oh, but what if I do? Oh, but what if this doesn't happen? What if this happens? Oh, but what about this? And like I over analyze every little detail.
Yeah.
But then I go, Tevin, you get one life to live, and tomorrow is not promised to you. So as my grandma would say, such as it is. So just make a decision and go.
So, in terms of preparation, I mean, how has that had been an impulsive thing that you've been doing? Have you been like putting in the steps, putting in a lot of motions before you come out here?
Oh yes, I've already done a hell of a lot to get out here. When I was about 4 years old, I almost drowned actually.
Oh my
So
God.
I had never stepped in the water again until I knew I was coming here.
I mean, talk about letting the water win. Like,
I
you
mean,
found it out the hard way.
Yes, I went to Water Country USA in Williamsburg, and I was on this big shark floaty, and all of the kids were horse playing, and I was in 5 feet of water, and I was not 5 feet.
Mm.
And the whole floaty flipped over, and I went under. And all I can remember, it's really kind of poetic, but I went under the water, and all I remember was seeing the light of the sun bouncing across the water. All the laughter that I was hearing was muffled by me being underwater and me looking up at the sun and saying, I'm gonna die, and then letting go because I said, well, this is it. And I let go and I floated up to the top. And when I floated up, I got out and I never got back in until I was getting ready to come out here.
Wow.
And I got back in that water and I was in 9 feet and I was diving and I was in it and I was swimming and I was so proud of myself.
Yeah.
So that was a big step. I don't like flying. I'm a tourist. I like to be on the ground. I like to be on the earth.
Yeah.
And I had also never left really the East Coast. The furthest I had been was LA, and that was for this. And then I'm over here way across the seas. I had never left the country before I got my passport for this. And so I have flown all this distance, which was a little scary for me, but I did it. I'm an arachnophobic person,
Ooh.
and I have been seeing spiders and just being like, shoo. And I have crippling arachnophobia. And I see them, and I'm just like, okay, survivor. I literally in my head go survivor. And then I push them out the way, and I go. I was at the gym. I learned how to make a spear out of bamboo. I practiced how to make fire. I built some puzzles out of like cardboard and did slide puzzles and was moving stuff around. I tried to recreate all the old challenges and make slingshots and try to hit little small targets and throw bean bags on toothpicks or whatever. 'Cause everything, you know how they throw stuff on little teeny little catch things. And like, yeah, like I had done all of this preparation in the event that I was gonna come out here, and I got that call, and I was like, see, Tevin, prepare yourself.
Absolutely. What would you say is your hottest Survivor take? What's like your most controversial opinion? It could be about a player, a season, the show in general.
I always say, Marianne actually just talked about this on a podcast, and I was so glad that she brought it up because it's something that's been digging at me for so long. I'm not gonna call them idiots. Rewind yourself, Tevin. But when you win final immunity, you're in the final four. You just won Samotion.
Yeah.
And you decide, like Heidi did, I'm going to give this immunity necklace up because I want a chance to go at fire so that I don't want to win second or third. I want first, is what she said. And you gave up your immunity necklace and to try to prove a point to the jury that you belong. And I think that because fire happens in that moment, we have devalued final immunity challenge.
Of course.
You just won the final immunity challenge. You don't need to give that up to prove that you can beat this person playing fire and risk your $1 million possibly losing in a fire competition. Like, this game is very much what have you done for me lately? And I think people
Mhm.
feel like, oh, all of the work that you've done the 25 days leading up to this moment or whatever is like null and void. So you need to make fire in front of us now so that it's like, no, I won the final immunity challenge. I earned this. Y'all go to fire. I'll see y'all in final 3.
I'm going to give you a scenario here. You get to bring out a celebrity or a fictional character as your loved one for a loved one's visit. You go in T.S. Madison or you go in somebody else?
Oh boy. Okay, the person has to be living then.
No, they can be deceased.
Oh, then I'm bringing Whitney Houston.
I mean, I was going to say.
Yes. Oh, yes. I love T.S. and everybody else, but I'm bringing Whitney Houston. I am bringing Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, she's coming. She's coming.
And I love it. And then you can come back and, people are saying they're going to play your idol. You're like, how will I know?
How will I know? It's like, I want to run to you. I want to be in an alliance with you.
Yeah, and I will always love you.
And I will always love you, even though you about to be VOTEDOUT. I will always love you.
Yeah, I mean, you approach your number one, you say, I want to dance with somebody.
That's cool. You better run these titles.
You got it, man. I mean, let me, quote something else that you love. We are such stuff as dreams are made of. And this is your dream, to be out here on your island. How are you feeling right now? As the dream is about to become a reality.
Honestly, I have screamed so much, and I feel like there's so much more energy in me, and I've been containing it because we can't necessarily. I'm just trying to keep it all within right now, just a little bit. But I am so ecstatic. I am so excited. I feel like I'm always on the brink of tears because it is a mind fuck to be out here and to have watched this show for so long and to now be on this side of it, and the people making the show saying they want you out here. I mean, it is unbelievable. And like I said, I grew up. Well, I didn't say this, but I mean, I grew up very poor, very desolate and poor. And so I had never left the country before. I had never been to LA before. I've never had a lot of opportunity to do this type of thing. And to be here is surreal. So I believe it and I don't believe it at the same time.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just feeling a litany of emotions.
All right, well, you ready to get lit on Survivor? This is going to be incredible, man. I have such good vibes about you. I mean, I think it's maybe because, we have a similar type of background, similar type of, vocation.
That might be what it is.
But, I'm so excited for you. The passion that you're bringing in this moment, I can only imagine how much it's going to magnify, quintuple, quadruple when you get out there on the beach.
Thank you. You want to be in an alliance with me?
I mean, listen, ride or die. I want to dance with somebody. I told you.